Hello, and welcome to the virtual tour of the latest group exhibition from the Bloomington Watercolor Society, titled We Paint, Peter, Paul, and Mary. This year's show is inspired by the varied styles and eras of Peter Max, Paul Klee, and Mary Cassat. I'm your host, Emily Rosalowski, and today I will introduce you to each entry into the show and recognize Best in Show and Silver Best in Show. If you would like to see these works in person, please visit the vault at Gallery Mortgage, located at 121 East 6th Street in downtown Bloomington, Indiana. These works will be on display through the month of March. Once again, the Bloomington Watercolor Society has honored Teachers Warehouse, meaning proceeds from this exhibition will go to support their cause. If you didn't know, Teachers Warehouse is a local not-for-profit dedicated to managing the donation of school supplies for local teachers and children in need. Visit teacherswarehouse.org to find out more about this wonderful organization. Links will be provided at the end of this video. Last but not least, this virtual tour has been made possible by a grant from Bloomington North Rotary, a local service club dedicated to local community development. Now on with the show. Guadalupe after Peter Max, Watercolor by signature member Candy Bailey. I looked at Peter Max paintings, and what struck me was all the stars in the painting and, of course, how colorful it was. It reminded me of how colorful images of Guadalupe are, and also that her robe is full of stars. Sugar and Lace, Watercolor by Julie Boyd. This baby's lace dress reminded me of dresses my mother dressed me in when I was growing up. Growing up in the South, sugar was a term of endearment frequently given babies and toddlers. In addition, my grandmother would always say, "Come give me some sugar," meaning she wanted a kiss from me. The Tea Party, Watercolor by Sharon Parsons. Inspired by Mary Cassat's painting, The Tea, my version features a 2024 bohemian-type gathering with friends for a tea party. Triumvirate, Acrylic, Watercolor, and Watercolor Pencil by Denise Lessau. Paul Klee. His unconventional combination of media, texture, transferred line, and use of colorful geometric shapes was my inspiration. Little Girl on the Orange Couch, Oil by Rose Brenner. My little Swiss granddaughter, Edith Rose, came to visit at Christmas. She was so proud climbing up on the couch by herself and with Emmy the dog. Mary Cassat was known for painting impressionistic domestic scenes with children and dogs. A Clay Village, Watercolor and Chalk by signature member Sarah Steffi McQueen. Clay's myriad use of multiple mediums inspired my combination of watercolor and chalk. Without Intent, Phenomenal Woman, Watercolor on Oil by Zane Mackey. I created this in the style and technique of Paul Klee, using layers of watercolor over oil. Creation, Oil Transfer, Paul Klee Method, Watercolor by Andy Roberts. Paul Klee's unconventional combination of media, texture, transferred line, and use of colorful geometric shapes was my inspiration. I titled this painting Creation to represent our own world by a divine creator. Neighbors Across the Street, Clay Vision, Watercolor and Pencil by Don Madvig. I've always been an admirer of Paul Klee, especially his watercolor techniques. His work was a fun inspiration, and his work is so different from my usual style. Moonglow, Pastels by Lynn Gilliatt. The bright moon woke me up, shining in my face, and there was a breeze blowing the clouds like ribbons. It was a beautiful scene, and my rendition was inspired by the art of Paul Klee. Flower Power 2, Mixed Media by Char DePena. This painting was inspired by a drawing I did back in my art student days when Peter Max posters and art were everywhere. Bringing Up Baby, Watercolor by Patty Uffman. Mary Cassat specialized in domestic scenes, and what is more domestic than a happy child at home? A Better World, Saving One Saves a Generation. Watercolor by signature member Mary Reinhold. I was inspired by Peter Max's painting A Better World. Elephants are a keystone species. This means their survival directly and indirectly benefits the other species, including humans, who live within their ecosystem. Elephants' sheer existence benefits all humankind. Homage to Peter Max and his environment works. Mixed Media by Charlotte Griffin. Peter Max created a number of works encouraging the preservation of nature. This work points to the Atlantic puffins in Maine, which were brought back from near extinction by 50 years of focus on the part of the Audubon Society, and are now being affected by warming ocean temperatures. Painter's Day at the Pool, Watercolor by signature member Kathy Truelove Barton. After reviewing hundreds of images by artists Peter, Paul, and Mary, I felt drawn to Paul Klee. I liked the geometric shapes and the bright colors. Klee's use of these elements led me to go through my never-shown-before work. To my surprise, I found a painting I liked, Artist's Day at the Pool, that used both geometric shapes and bright colors. Summer Morning on the Rose Brick Trail, Gouache by Babette Ballinger. Peter Max has done a series of seasonal landscapes in bright colors. This is my painting of hope that spring will be coming and soon. Neon Dream, Acrylic and UV Reactive Acrylic by Laura Brown. I've always been drawn to fluorescent colors. It feels like there is a certain stigma to using loud colors in art, as maybe the colors themselves are the highlight and the rest of the work is overlooked. With this in mind, I attempted to portray a distant starry universe melting into a Peter Max-inspired scene of vibrant color. Forest of Sunbeams, a Study, Watercolor by signature member Betty Wagoner. I was in Zionsville visiting an estate, sitting on the patio when the sunbeams came pouring through the pine trees. The beauty of it inspired me to create this painting. Alcohol Inks by Gail Fairfield. Peter Max's bright colors was my inspiration to try to capture the eye of the mind. For this exhibition, 3 judges have identified Silver Best in Show and Best in Show. Our winner today for Silver Best in Show and recipient of $75 from the Bloomington Watercolor Society is Flower Power 2 by Char DePena. For Best in Show and the recipient of $100 from John Labella and the Vault Gallery is Insight by Gail Fairfield. And that does it for our virtual tour and the exhibition We Paint, Peter, Paul, and Mary. If you would like to make any of these pieces a part of your permanent collection, please refer to the links at the end of this video. Thank you for your attention.